Well, welcome into CHGO Bets Daily, coming to you live from Studio B of our CHGO offices here in the West Loop of Chicago. I'm your host, Sean Anderson. You can follow me at Sean_W_Anderson. I am wearing the shades in honor of my partner in degeneracy, who is out in Colorado, Cody Delmendo. He's not here, but we have a Cody Delmendo special for you a little bit later on in the show. Filling in for Cody is Stephen Nicholas. You can't follow him. He doesn't have a Twitter. He won't give it out to you. That's fine, though. He's a normal person just like you, except that he just knows way too much about football, which is good for this show because we're going to gamble on the NFL. Isn't that fun?
I'm so excited for this. I really am.
I'm not.
Oh, well.
Well, and not because of you. It's more just because I lost money on college football last week, and I lost money on the NFL last week. So I guess I am excited because I get to listen to your bets. I'm going to give out 5 bets. Steven's got a parlay. I know he's got other non-graphics bets to get to, so why not jump in? What's your strategy for 2023? You've had 1 week already for NFL. I know you're not too much of a college bettor. What strategies have you figured out? What strategy are you trying to attack in week 2? I know there's something about you're looking into coin flips and shit.
Yeah, I've been really doing well on the first touchdown props. I went 3-0 last week on those, which is quite the pull. And I've been looking into coin flips to see which team receives more than they defer. And it turns out most teams defer, but I think I've got some good ones that we're going to be able to talk about today.
I usually defer when it comes to Madden. I want the ball in the second half. If I'm just trying to build on my lead. Because, we're already prepared. We're already ready to kick your ass in the first half. We're not going to need to make any, halftime adjustments. We're just going to start building onto our lead. We're going to probably open up with a small little play action pass, bring in that linebacker core, bring in that safeties, and we're just going to hit it over the top first play. No mercy. Anyways, what happened? I just blacked out. Let's get into the bets here, Steven. Hey, shout out to somebody who's was it you?
It was me, yeah.
All right,
which I'm looking at this. It still says upcoming, but it also says live right here.
All right, well, hey,
we're having a weird thing, yeah.
We got 2 likes. That happened. You liked it, and it went up. So, hey, if you're hanging out with us, hit the thumbs up button and let us know. But, Steven, let's get into our bets. Let's get into my bets. We're going to first go to Thursday because chronologically it makes sense. Vikings are taking on the Eagles. It's Philly's home opener. They were all right in New England in week 1. They had a nice start to that game. I think they went into halftime with a 16-0 lead. But then I think 7 of the last 8 Patriot drives ended in Eagles territory. So not a clean game for Philadelphia. And Minnesota, everyone had them as their survivor pick for week 1. And what do? In classic Minnesota fashion, they lose to the Tampa Bay Bucs, led by Baker Mayfield. One thing that we know is true in this world, Cody Delmendo has made it very apparent to us here on CHGO Bets Daily, is that primetime unders are just as bankable as the unders in an Army and Navy game. Under 49.5 points for the Vikings and Eagles. And the good thing about our friends over at DraftKings Sportsbook is they give you a 50% boost on any Eagle and Viking game. So I'm going to boost the under of 49.5 from minus 118 to plus 127. The over-under right now is at 49, so I'll pay a little bit for that hook there. But when it trends like 56%, but actually probably more, I think it's hit like 143 times to like 111
That's crazy.
Losses. It's tough to go away from just such a strong trend, and we saw in week 1, 12 unders for the 16 games. So, hey, why not?
I like it. Under 40, yeah. I mean, I feel like this might be a different game than we're expecting. I think a lot of Alexander Mattison in this game. Yeah, hey, that means running clocks, though. That's a good thing.
That's true.
And I also think a lot of Jalen Hurts running the ball as well. We already saw Kenneth Gainwell is ruled out for this game with a rib injury. That means it's going to be some combination of DeAndre Swift, Boston Scott, maybe Rashad Penny, who was a healthy scratch in week 1, plays as well. I think Jalen Hurts runs the ball a lot. I think I saw his rushing prop somewhere around 50 yards on that one. I'm going to hit the over on that. And I think that running clock ends up contributing to yet another primetime under.
And last year, these two faced off in week 2. Eagles won 24-7. I don't know. I mean, I think they'll probably be able to handle Jefferson. And again, it's Kirk Cousins. He threw 3 picks last time he faced the Eagles. There's no Thielen. Jefferson was held to 6 catches for 48 yards in that last matchup. So, hey, let's go. I'll take the under 49.5 points in the prime time there. Now, next bet. Sorry, it's blocked by the screen you pulled up. My bad.
I was just fixing some of the back end errors here.
I'll just go through these quickly because these two are in the same game. And you can lump even in the Bears plus 2.5 versus Tampa Bay in this one. Seattle getting 5.5 points against Detroit. Seattle was opened up back in week 1 as the favorite in this matchup. Then Detroit beats Kansas City. Then Seattle loses to the Rams by 30 to 13.
Too, yeah.
I think it's very reactionary to see this line completely flip by basically 7 points. I'll take it. No, I think the Seattle Seahawks at least keep this game close. We saw last year the over hit in the 2 matchups that they faced. Seattle scored 51 in the first matchup, or in the second matchup, and 45 in the second matchup.
So I looked into it a little bit more. Those are the last 2 matchups overall. Those weren't both last season. So I could give you the totals in both of those games, though. So it was...
Which ones were last season?
The last season one was the 93 total points. So it was 48 to 45.
Okay, yeah.
And the one prior to that was the season prior. It was 80 total points. And Tim Boyle was the quarterback for the Lions in that one. Whoa. So, and they still put up 80 points. So, yeah, I mean, over 47.5 on that one. That looks like a gimme right now.
In a dome, too. I think those teams can score 7 touchdowns. So I'll go with the over 49 in Detroit and Seattle on Sunday. Seattle getting 5.5 points, too, against Detroit. Teams that have lost by 10 or more points in week 1 have come back and covered 65% of the time. Shout out to Brian Power.
It's a good stat.
For that stat. It's not my stat.
It's still a good stat.
It is a good stat.
Power, yeah.
And then it's the same reason why the Bears, I think there's 8 teams that lost by 10 points. 2 of them are facing each other, the Texans and the Colts. Right? Colts ended up losing by 10?
I don't know what they lost by. They lost to the Jaguars, though. I know that.
Maybe it's the 2. I think 2 of the. It has to be the Colts and the Texans because it's the rookie quarterbacks.
Makes sense. Any interest in Seahawks plus 185 on the money line?
No.
No. See, I think I'm going to take it.
Sure, but like in football, I can barely even get a spread right, so I'll take the cushion. I mean, you can notice all my bets; they all have the cushion. I'm not laying anything with dogs or with favorites.
Because the Seahawks did win the last 2 matchups in that one. And I got one other prop I like. It's not available yet, but I think it's a really interesting one. I'm going to take the over on Brock Wright. He's the tight end for the Lions on his receiving yards. And I'm also going to consider him for first TD prop. Once again, not available yet. But the Seahawks allowed the second most receiving yards to tight ends last season. And TJ Hawkinson lit them up in the last matchup. Yeah, he's not there anymore, but someone's playing the TJ Hawkinson role. It's going to be Brock Wright. Yeah,
that's a real
too deep of a dive. Okay,
no. It's great. It's great.
They allowed over 1,100 yards to tight ends last season. Jesus. That's like Travis Kelce numbers. So you just take those numbers and plug it into one person. That's like right around there.
What college did Brock Wright go to?
I don't have a goddamn clue.
Come on. Take a guess.
Texas.
No, he's from Texas. He had a good radar there. Notre Dame. You ever hear of it?
Oh, yeah, I have.
Yeah, there you go.
Produce some good tight ends. Cole Kmet's another.
Yeah. But for the Bears and the Seahawks, teams that, again, lost in week 1 by 10 have covered the week 2 number 65% of the time. You look at that Bears number, 2.5 against the Buccaneers. The Bears were 3-point favorites when this line originally opened up, and then it swung all the way to the Bucs being 3-point favorites. So this line has kind of gone back and forth. It probably should be a pick'em. I don't understand why Atlanta and Green Bay is a pick'em. Green Bay is also going on to the road against Atlanta. I will take Green Bay in that matchup. I didn't put it on that, but that's like minus 115 for the Packers to win. I think they handle Atlanta. But then Pittsburgh, too, getting 2 points against Cleveland. I just don't think Cleveland's that good.
I agree.
And Pittsburgh, again, one of those teams that just absolutely got trounced by the 49ers. So I'll take 3 of those teams that lost by 10 points to at least cover the spread on Sunday. Steven.
I want to talk about that Green Bay pick real quick. I think that might have to do something with Aaron Jones, who's not practicing today. It could be affecting that line because obviously having Christian Watson, probably out. He also didn't practice today. Aaron Jones is the next best weapon. And if he's out, you're just relying on A.J. Dillon and a rookie in Jaden Reed to cover your offense for you.
Romeo Doubs.
Yeah, I guess. He had a good game against a really bad Bears week 1 performance, but it's fair.
That line's a 1. Hey, I do think too. Packers to make the playoffs is like you have to lay juice. So
really?
Yeah, I mean maybe it's
out of spite. I won't do that.
And maybe it's worth sprinkling on the Bears here. Real quick before we get to Steven's crazy parlay, football is back in full swing with another week of epic games. And who's got you covered on the action for every single one of them? DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers can bet $5 on football and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Nobody's missing out on the action this season. All DraftKings customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every day this September. Steven's loving the no-sweat bet that you get for Thursday, Sunday, and Monday. And hey, there's 2 Monday night games. So get in on the NFL Week 2 action with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app now and use code CHGO to sign up. New customers can bet just $5 and take home $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code CHGO. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms for eligibility, terms, and responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. 5-leg parlay?
Is it 5? Is it 5 or 6? Let me take a look.
It's your parlay.
I don't remember what I put on there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5 legs. Yeah, it's at plus 866. I have some thoughts on you. All these teams are favorites. I'll start by saying that. But there's a lot of logic among all these bets here. Saints money line versus the Panthers. One, the Panthers suck. Saints, maybe they're not great, but the Panthers have got some injuries they're dealing with. Both of their guards are now out. Their starting guards are out for this game. And we just heard today J.C. Horn will also be out for this game. I mean, Saints, just keep an eye on Chris Olave in this one. He should just pound that secondary and he's going to find the end zone.
That's a good point.
I got Cowboys money line versus the Jets. The Jets, well, they had a really good week 1 win, and I think that's where it ends because Zach Wilson is the starting quarterback yet again. He's not very good.
No.
In fact, I'd go as far as to say he's horrendous. He might be the worst starting quarterback in the NFL right now, aside from Joshua Dobbs.
And it's probably the best cornerback duo in Stephon Gilmore and Diggs. So, Zach Wilson, even if you believe in him, this is just one hellacious defense that Dallas is throwing out there.
Yeah, it's good. And the Jets, bad. Dak didn't have to do much of anything in week 1 versus the Giants. It was terrible weather conditions. This one's going to be the home opener for the Cowboys as well. I like that. Give me the Cowboys money line there. Giants money line versus the Cardinals. For one, I think we could agree. The Cardinals worst team in the NFL right now?
Yes.
Yeah, I would agree on that as well. So I'm going to say the Giants are just going to beat them just on talent alone. Cardinals really, really bad at defending the tight end, which is why I'm also going to sprinkle in a first TD prop here for Darren Waller. Last season, we saw the Cardinals give up 12 TDs to tight ends, which was an NFL worst. Yes, they're that bad. They also allowed the 3rd most receiving yards to tight ends as well. Darren Waller, they spent a really, really big price tag on him to get him in the offseason and then to extend him to that deal as well. They got to feature him. He didn't get featured very much in week 1. I think week 2 is where we see him really break out and have a good game. Week 3, I'll fade him because he's not going to be playing the Cardinals in that one. Also, Logan Thomas had a team-high 8 targets versus the Cardinals in week 1. So if Logan Thomas is getting a team-high in targets, I'm pretty confident that Darren Waller could do a lot more.
Logan Thomas, former Cardinals quarterback.
No.
Wasn't he? Isn't that Logan Thomas, wasn't he the former?
I think he's just a tight end.
Yeah, but he started off as a quarterback at Virginia Tech.
Are you talking about Jeff Driscoll?
No.
I'm not aware of this.
After being redshirted in 2009, Thomas spent 2012 as the backup quarterback to Tyrod Taylor at Virginia Tech.
I stand corrected.
He was drafted in the 4th round. Thomas was the 6th quarterback taken behind Blake Bortles, Manziel, Teddy Bridgewater, Derek Carr, and Jimmy Garoppolo.
Wow. All right. Good on you. I did not know that. and a former quarterback had 8 targets. Yeah, Darren
Now he's a tight end.
Darren Waller's going to do really well. Sprinkle that first TD bet when you see it. If you're not as comfortable on that, there's also the no sweat bet this week. If you want to do that, you could. I'm guessing you can get that somewhere around plus 900 to plus 1100. I love that juice. Going back to the parlay though, Chargers money line versus the Titans. Titans very bad. They looked the part in week 1 as well versus the Saints. Ryan Tannehill's not good. Now this line is a little bit closer than you'd expect. I think I saw Chargers a 3-point favorite in this one. That's because Austin Eckler has an ankle injury. Joshua Kelly filled in admirably for him while he was out in the third and late fourth quarter in that game. Even if Austin Eckler doesn't play, I still like the Chargers money line a lot in this one. Tennessee doesn't really have much going for them. And then DeAndre Hopkins has an ankle injury. He didn't practice today as well. I think that kind of cancels out any Eckler potential injury. I like Chargers money line there. Last one, Bills money line versus the Raiders. The Bills will not start the season 0-2. I promise you they won't. Devontae Adams has an injury of his own. He didn't practice today. We're already so many injuries just 1 week into the NFL. I would expect him to play, but Josh Allen is going to come out firing in week 2. I'm going to have him as my fantasy quarterback number 1 this week. That's how high I am on him. If you see any player parlays, go ahead and take those on Josh Allen as well. I'm guessing 3 touchdowns for him.
Let's go. I like it.
Plus 866.
Take it. Yeah, so like 8.5 to 1. Not bad. 5 wins you around 55 or so, I think, if my math is correct.
I used the free bet from my loss last week, so I got 10 to win 86.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, I like it. I'm definitely going to be betting on Chris Olave. I just to tell you on that one.
Yeah.
Week 17 they lost 10-7 to the Cardinals, but he scored the only touchdown. 12 targets, 5 receptions, 60 yards, and a touchdown. That was week 17. And again, J.C. Horn, I think, was going up against him. Week 3, 13 targets, 9 receptions, 147 yards. So probably should have scored a touchdown. So he's done well against the Panthers each time, and now especially with Horn out, I'll be tailing you on an anytime touchdown scorer for Chris Olave. So let's go.
That. I got one more first touchdown score if you're interested.
Right, of course.
And it's on the Thursday night game, so it's already posted, which I love because I haven't been getting these yet, and I want to be the first ones on these. A.J. Brown, first TD scorer. He's at plus 700 right now. He's going to be lined up in the X position for the Eagles versus Byron Murphy, who just allowed 5 receptions on 5 targets to Mike Evans. He also scored a touchdown. I like A.J. Brown a lot in this one. Also, if you look at the Vikings as a team defense last season, they allowed the most receiving yards to wide receivers.
You do like Hurts to run.
Mm-hmm.
I do wonder if, because I always think that they would have a quarterback run for a touchdown earlier. I don't know if that makes any sense.
I don't know if the timing of the game matters as much to me. It's just about matchups early on. You want to get the lead, and then I think it's more likely you see run plays when you already have a lead established.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, maybe Brown absolutely torches, and you have a Breece Hall scenario where he absolutely gets vultured, and, all they need is 1 yard.
You're still bitter about that, aren't you?
I am. Hey, you know me. I love being bitter. That's Stephen Nicholas. He's a fantasy football and first touchdown scorer expert. I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me at Sean_W_Anderson. Those are our bets for this week. I was going to say tonight, but for this week. Obviously, bet the under in the primetime games and, tail us on everything else. Follow Steven's money line parlay and follow me, tailing teams that got blown out last week. That's going to do it, and we'll talk to you tomorrow for Big Ten After Dark. Goodbye.